Alright, as promised, it was a washout today, but things are about to improve in a pretty big hurry over the next couple of days. Hey everyone, it's Weather for Weather Geeks here on the 18th of March 2021. And yeah, it's just been a soaker today. We're going to talk about rainfall totals in this video, and we'll talk about what's ahead, including a first look at the month of April, which, believe it or not, will start in just 2 weeks. But in the meantime, here's a live look outside as of the recording of this video at about 5 till 7 p.m. 680 South Avenue in Youngstown, looking damp, no surprise. Now, as of the climate report, which was issued at about 5:40 this evening, the airport had picked up 0.57 inches worth of rain. Last year, on today's date, we picked up 1.1 inches worth of rain. It's been 2 soggy March 18ths in a row. Now, these are some actual rain gauge numbers as of a little before 7 p.m. We've picked up well over an inch now in parts of central and southern Columbiana County. Downtown Youngstown at our studios, 8.86 in the rain gauge up on the roof here, 0.82 in Mercer. Actually, we're just getting some fresh data here. This just reloaded with fresh information. We're coming up on an inch now, downtown Youngstown, 1.32 down in Lisbon and in Columbiana as well. Newton Falls, also at about an inch. We've got a couple of bad readings in Austintown and Latonia, but the rest of these look pretty good. 1 inch plus, pretty common. And if your community has not picked up an inch just yet, before the evening is through, you might end up getting pretty close to that because we've got a little more rain coming our way over the next couple of hours. All right, whenever we have heavy rain events, I like to keep an eye on the local rain gauges, including, of course, Eagle Creek near Braceville in southwestern Trumbull County. We're looking pretty good right now. The latest observation, 5.04 feet. That's well below action stage and minor flood stage. So it looks like we're going to get away okay for the time being, as far as any minor neighborhood flood concerns along some of the traditional spots that tend to get a little bit flood prone in heavy rain events. All right, as of this recording, 6:56. The bark has been worse than the bite over the last few hours. We've had what we call bright banding on the radar. Now, both the Cleveland NWS radar and the Pittsburgh radar, by the time those radar beams get above our region, they're at least a few thousand feet above our heads. In some cases, 5,000 or 6,000 feet above our heads because of the curvature of the Earth. That beam gains elevation as it leaves the radar site. And at 5,000, 6,000 feet above our heads, those beams are hitting big, fat, wet snowflakes up at that level. Now, of course, we're not seeing snowflakes around here. It's too warm down near the ground, but upstairs, a few thousand feet, it is cold enough for some snowflakes, and so the beam hitting those bigger objects returns brighter colors on the radar. Now, some of this is legit moderate rain, but some of this is being enhanced by the radar beam hitting larger objects up a few thousand feet above our heads. Nonetheless, rain's going to be with us for another couple of hours. Starting to see a little bit of blue showing up along the lakeshore. And a few wet snowflakes are going to be seen up there over the next couple of hours. And around here, I can't rule out a couple of wet snowflakes being seen as this tapers off late this evening. They've had some thunderstorms, as we talked about last evening. We talked about the possibility of thunder up into West Virginia today, and sure enough, we've even had some severe thunderstorm warnings as far north as near the PA-West Virginia border, not in the Panhandle, but down into the central part of the state. And, of course, severe weather has been ongoing today in parts of the Carolinas, including a few tornado warnings earlier on around the Charlotte area. And while we're missing the severe weather, we're also missing the warm air today. We hit the mid-60s yesterday, but the warmer air got pinched off to the south today. And, yeah, we're tailing back into the lower 40s and eventually through the 30s into the 20s overnight tonight. But then, snooze and cruise for the next few days. High pressure drops an anchor over the Great Lakes. I mean, this is a pristine looking forecast for the next few days. Hardly a cloud in the sky Friday afternoon, Saturday, and again on Sunday. Pretty rare stuff for this time of the year. March is typically one of our cloudier months, and I look back at some weather records, and sure enough, so far, despite today's cloudy day, the last time we enjoyed a March featuring this much sunshine was 22 years ago, back in 1999. And after we get done with the clouds late tonight, we got several sunny to mostly sunny days in a row coming up, including Saturday, where YSU returns home for more late winter, early spring football. Actually, spring will have officially begun, astronomical spring, by the time we hit kickoff at midday on Saturday as YSU takes on South Dakota. 48 the kickoff temperature and lower to middle 50s in the afternoon. We're anticipating a high of about 56 on Saturday and 61 on Sunday. Nothing but sunshine over the weekend. 8 to 14 day outlook. Now, this is the period in which I think the warmth will start to be trimmed somewhat. Now, it doesn't look that cold, but the warmth will start to be trimmed as we go into very late March, last few days of the month. And so the more pronounced orange colors are not on this map in the 8 to 14 day period, as a little bit of a cooler regime tries to take over. All right, so about the 18th, 19th, 20th of the month, the CPC, Climate Prediction Center, puts out their initial outlook for the following month, and they did so today. The April outlook came out today, and no surprise, this is a pretty warm-looking map. Now, last April, you may remember locally, was pretty chilly. We had a warm March, but not a very warm April at all. This April should be quite a bit more enjoyable. Spring is probably going to kick in sooner this year than it did last year. Not much of a signal precipitation-wise in this initial outlook. Odds favor below-average precipitation in the deep south and out in the Intermountain West, but around here, it could go either way at this point. March is going to go into the record books as a pretty dry month, despite a very wet day today. Overall, before today, it was pretty dry, and after today, it's going to be pretty dry. But April may end up being a little bit closer to the average, precipitation-wise. All right, that'll do it for me tonight. Thank you for watching Weather for Weather Geeks on this Thursday evening. I'll probably take tomorrow off from Weather Geeks since we've got a very quiet forecast coming up. So thank you for tuning in this week, and I'll see you back here Monday evening. And if you're up late tonight, check out my updated forecast on 21 News at 11 o'clock.